guys, your girl Reviewing. I'm back with another video, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and when you subscribe, you can turn on the notification bell on so you know when I upload a brand new video. And if you hear my fan, please don't mind it. It's hot in here. I'd rather have a fan on than the AC on because the AC is way louder. Like, yeah, please just don't mind it. But as you can see by the title, we're going to be reacting to a video. It's called Why Chief Keef Sabotaged His Career. First of all, he ain't sabotaged no career because he's still at the top. To me, he's still at the top. I don't care. He not where he's supposed to be, but he's still popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still a GOAT. He's still a legend. He ain't sabotaged no career. The way you can sabotage your career is nobody talks about you. And, yes, nobody talks about you. But, yeah, let's just get right into it.
You gotta name another rapper outside of, like, Drake or Ye with their influence on sound that has influenced a whole bunch of rappers recently.
Wait, did he say Lil Wayne?
To sound like on sound that has influenced a whole bunch of rappers recently
Keef,
to sound like
Uzi.
I can't because all the rappers sound like each other. I don't know.
But you agree with him on Keef's how influential
100%. That's not to be questioned.
I'm the most influential artist in hip hop. Chief Keef, definitely. I remember that. I remember, like, that's another one too. I remember, like, they didn't, on the front, I had got it, and on the front, it wasn't even really like his picture, so like everybody else.
I think he was in jail or something at the time, and he was in on like the
I remember that. Like, I remember that, and we was looking through it, he had all the photos, but yeah, he definitely influential. Just listen a lot of like Chief Keef.
Word.
Yeah.
You love Chief Keef.
Yeah. I'm going hard. That's like who I look up to.
Chief Keef is really rapper who don't get as much attention or as much credit as he deserves. You know, a lot of people build their sound off him, and every time he get on a song with any of them, he come correct.
Into the topic of Chicago, I think that it's only right here at Complex Con that we shout out Chief Keef. What does that name mean to you?
Shout out folks. I mean, it's just crazy to see that somebody shoot a video with their friends on their block where they're from could end up, you know, being on charts and going platinum and having songs with, you know, Kanye.
That's crazy. Son came from just making music with his friends, bro. Like, just being in the crib to being a damn legend.
And me being a music head that I was and still am, I studied the stuff like music in my life for a long time.
Although all rappers love to detail their impact on the landscape influence, it can really be a double-edged sword, particularly when it arrives at an accelerated rate. Taking the music that you are making with conservative goals of a better life into a world that surpasses any horizons that you may be familiar with. So when his rap career began, at the humble age of 16, Chief Keef was a young Chicagoan that was making music geared towards him and his immediate circle. Courtesy of the success of his DIY approach and the viral nature his videos provided.
Well, but Keef came out, bro. I felt like there was no other rappers but Keef, but Dirt, Fredo, who else? Just her, like, I don't know, I feel like the Chicago movement was like really my favorite movement because around that time I don't know, to me, I really wasn't listening to New York rappers. Like, I was probably listening to like Nicki Minaj, 50 Cent, but like this is way before Bobby and them came out, so it's like we really didn't have nobody to really listen to outside, like, no, inside of New York. So I started listening to Chicago music. Like, I was from Chicago, like. That's how that
gatekeeper for Chicago Drill, responsible for granting his producers and his fellow MCs safe passage into the wider industry. As Chi-Town beatmaker DJ L recalled, at the time, Keef and them were the reigning faction and everybody wanted to get down with them. And I was one of them. Chief Keef came down like a monsoon. There was no way to prepare for that kind of impact. Rising to prominence before he was old enough to graduate,
bro, to be honest, these record labels know they couldn't handle Keef, bro. And the very ones, they know they couldn't handle them.
So set a new precedent for hip-hop success to arrive in an MC's formative years. Cited as influential by everyone from the YBN Crew, the Juice WRLD, to G Herbo, Chief's early momentum helped enshrine the business model that he stuck to for much of his career, releasing massive swaths of music through mixtapes and features, and then soon enough, the almighty soul would become a touchstone for countless stars that followed in his footsteps. I'm not gonna lie, I listened to a lot of Sosa, declared Lil Uzi Vert in 2016, before Lil Pump accredited his early inspiration to Keef and the whole different era he came with during his infamous summer with J. Cole, even to the point where his famous catchphrase, "Let's get it," actually came from him listening to Chicago drill rappers every time they would start a track. However, admiration for Keef is not limited to the new generation. Notoriously cynical about modern hip-hop and its uniformity and sound, Snoop Dogg had no reservations about praising Keef, stating, "I see how you're moving, man. You're moving with precision. You understand what you're supposed to be doing, and you're catering to your fans." And in the years that have followed, many others have vied for the affections of that same fan base, having once suggested that he was retiring in the face of too many sound-alikes. Keef's slang, sound, and even his trademark, ad-lib infused style has been his...
These rappers do be trying to sound like him, but there's only one Sosa. So it's like, y'all could sound like him, but y'all could never be this man. Like,
related into the wider culture. Believing that fans love him for creating mumble, Sosa is acutely aware of his impact. "I'm really out here having an influence on the vibes of the new, upcoming rappers. It's cool though, I want to keep doing that, keep influencing," he told XXL in 2017. "I came with Filthy Rich. They look at me as a person and where I came from and see it's real and I'm so young. This is like, if he can do it, they can do it." But in recent years, so much...
I feel like if Keef could make it at 16, bro, anybody can make it. Like, for real, bro, you could be damn near 13 years old and make it. Was it? I think Little Mouse was 12 years old when he made it. Like, bro, you could be any age.
Discourse surrounding Keef is fixated on the past,
oh my God,
rendering both his present and future as an athlete. Dwarfed in the shadow of his early Young Chop-assisted hits like I Don't Like and Love Sosa, Keef's inability to re-enter the lofty atmosphere of his hits has made him feel like a heritage act before his time. More commonly brought into the news cycle when paired with another high-profile figure, or if he's incurred another run-in with the law. Or, much to Keef's annoyance, due to his previous beef with 6ix9ine, where he once claimed that it just got better and bigger after being dropped from Interscope, his real-life trajectory has differed.
Don't even put Keef and 6ix9ine in a picture together. Like, don't let me do that.
His confident, overly simplistic analysis of the situation. Beloved and revered as he is, we've even now reached a grim fork in the road where even dedicated gold gang subreddits have rationalized his doom, making his bars on Gucci Mane's Don't Lose the Load into a disheartening meme. Now, after he's weathered errant recording contracts, paternity disputes, and more, Kanye's proclamation of "they steal your whole sound, that's a soundbite" on the Don't Like remix has come to represent a larger analysis of Keef's entire career, more so than his star-studded take on his signature track suggested. Rather than being given his flowers, Sosa has been cascading down the ranks to become a footnote in the modern game. Even in recent weeks, his decision to actively share Spotify's curated Best Of Chief Keef playlist subliminally suggests that his days at the pinnacle of the game have elapsed. By posting retrospectively, Sosa suggests, consciously or otherwise, that the best is behind him. But then again, his intentions have never been the easiest to discern, led in large part by the impulsiveness that comes with being a young man in an industry that continues to shift and evolve. Misunderstood since the days of Love Sosa, when he had the famous soundbite in the beginning of the song that said, "People in school telling me Chief Keef ain't about this, Chief Keef ain't about that." He's eventually run into the roadblock that his fellow originators have faced. As the first of his kind, there were no case studies for him to follow. Stalked by a lengthy rap sheet, the momentum that Keef breathed into Chi-Town's drill movement left him largely condemned by his own community. City officials just be hating, he told Billboard after his concerts were canceled. They don't want to see a young black man be successful and try to do something good. Vilified by his home, his manager Idris Dykes came to his defense, but in doing so, explained part of the reason why Keef has had to contend with the lifestyle that has been an integral part of his lyrical content even when his star grew. These problems were here way before Chief Keef was popular, he said. Keef is a product of the inner city. It's an endless cycle and it's set up that way. As his shows were shut down to the extent that even hologram performances were outlawed, he'd eventually moved to LA.
Like they probably don't want to see Keef, because they're not only doing that to Keef, I think they did that to her, because he said it in like, what's it called, is it L's Anthem? No, it's not L's. This Is What You Want. He said it in the beginning. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe they don't want to see their people shining. It's crazy.
To outrun the constraints of his hometown, saying,
but
I got away from...
They be doing that in New York too, like I'm not gonna lie. Like last year, Casanova couldn't perform. Who else? Pop Smoke couldn't perform. I'm just like, bro, who else? Chef, I think it was Chef G. I don't know, a few rappers couldn't perform at the Summer Jam. I'm just like, really? In their hometown? Like, I can understand if it's not their hometown, but in their hometown, and then you're talking about violence and stuff like that, I'm just like, bro, like, really? Like, come on now. Like,
that's unnecessary trouble. It's better out here in LA. I like living out here. I think it improved me. It changed me, and it inspired me to go somewhere bigger. But as has been the case throughout Sosa's career, he was plagued by yet another false start, preventing him from recapturing the momentum that had once catapulted him into the mainstream. After Interscope emerged victorious from the bidding war for Keef's services, the middling returns of Finally Rich, and its peak at 29 on the Hot 100, represented a faltering attempt to transition from his creativity and commercially independent space to something more corporately underpinned. As he branched out into art collecting and leaning into his vices, that debut's album title took on a new and more untoward meaning. Now that he is finally wealthy, it's felt as though he's taken his foot off the gas, relinquishing the control of hip-hop's future to other willing successors.
No.
As a result, number 29 would seem like a resounding success in comparison to the peak of 131 that his next charting effort, Bang 3, would achieve 2 years down the line. A project which, along with its sequel, would arrive during his time under the wayward guidance of Film On. Ran by Alki David, the architect behind the ill-intentioned DMX vs. George Zimmerman celebrity boxing match, the Greek entrepreneur was intrigued by the fact that Keef was one of the rare independent artists with a big following. Upon further inspection, signing Keef seemed exploitative at best, registering as a conscious effort to turn controversy into cash when Alki boasted about how his new business associate went to jail, waved a gun at a cop. He's like a crazy person. Attempting to harness Keef's energy for their gain rather than his own, it wouldn't take long before a rift would arise and Sosa's contract would suspend in November of 2015. Here, David's frustration boiled over, leading him to vent his frustrations over Keef, limiting his appeal to a wider audience, and I'm not saying he should sell out, just be more prolific. Far from an isolated incident, a lack of foresight has been a persistent thorn in Keef's side. At times focused to a fault, this is seen as his dismissal of a groundbreaking Apple Music deal that would have placed them at the forefront of their streaming revolution. Larry called me and said, "You're going to be the first artist on Apple Music." And I turned it down, he told XXL in 2017, because, I don't know, I just didn't do it. Instead, the accolade went to Chance the Rapper.
Keef back then, I feel like he was carefree. Like, he didn't feel like, even though he signed to a label, he's still gonna do his own thing, bro. Like, I feel like his label was controlling him and telling him what to do, and he was just like, hell no. Like, he was supposed to be at 106 & Park, he was like, hell no. He was supposed to be at the BET Awards, he was like, hell no. It was like, Keef didn't care, and like, he was carefree. Like, he's not going, even though he signed to a label, he's not gonna have these labels controlling him. Like, that's how he was.
Hoping to bring his fellow Chicago into a peak of his powers while remaining fiercely self-contained, just as Keef could have and should have been. Existing within a whirlwind, the chaos that surrounds Keef's career has rendered him incapable of capturing lightning in a bottle with the same authority that he once did. As a result, 2014's instant classic Finito may have sounded like a new beginning, but it has grown to represent the last moment where Sosa was on the path to the world domination that he once had within his grasp. Impeded from becoming the superstar.
I know that they gonna be listening to Finito. Like, bro, Finito is like legendary. That song, I'll keep the kids wearing kids
ever earlier this year.
Maybe.
Peaking at number 19, it's hard to believe that a catchy but no less inconsequential track such as Kobe Bean is what elevated them into the public eye to a greater degree than anything he's done of his own accord in recent years.
What?
Alluding to a serious disparity between Keef's numbers and his perceived influence, his diminishing presence on the front lines would also leave wiggle room for a new hotbed of American drill to arise. Entering the pathway that Keef and fellow New Yorker Bobby Shmurda had cleared up long, Pop Smoke's Welcome to the Party became Don't Like for a generation that may have been in their infancy as a rap lover when Keef and Young Chop were at the peak of their powers. Now,
Welcome to the Party, what I compare to Don't Like, I wouldn't compare it to Don't Like. Let me see what was going. You know, I feel like it's like you have Don't Like, Welcome to the Party. I'm really trying to think, like, should I put it like right here? You know what? Yes, I am. Because I am. Because they still get plays till this day in parties. Yeah, I feel like Don't Like and Welcome to the Party is right here, and it's like hot. Yeah. I feel like that's how I feel. Keef, Bobby Shmurda, and Pop Smoke is on the same level. Yeah. Not in like music career wise, but I'm talking like their hit songs. Yeah, it's like right there.
As Fabio Foreign and Jay Critch pick up their fallen comrade's baton, it feels as though the universe that Keef built is once again expanding without his consent. Spoken about in nostalgic tones before his career has truly ran its course, the goodwill that Keef has in the community means that if he wanted to make a blockbuster project that reasserted him as a force to be reckoned with, he technically could. The real question is whether the hunger for more still exists within him, or if Keef will continue to familiarize himself with the past tense rather than the present. This has been a hip.
Okay, so I'm done reacting to that, and here is my opinion on this video. This video is BS. Like, I feel like this video is for people who don't listen to Keef, like a real fan. I feel like this video is like saying this when this came out. Well, this came out last month. This video is for a fan that just loved his hype music. Like, they love Finito, Iron They Don't Like, Love Sosa, Love Lotharis. I feel like it's for that type of fans to say he sabotaged his career, because being a fan like me and the rest of us who listen to his music, even his recent music that he dropped that's on YouTube right now, his features that he just did this year, you can't say Keef sabotaged his career. Like, yeah, he's low-key. Keef been low-key for like, I would say, what, 2017? Really haven't heard Keef get into no problems. Like, he got arrested this year, but it was nothing major or nothing. So for him to say Keef sabotaged his career, Keef is like 24. We're like literally 4 years apart, bro. And he's getting to that point where he just want to be low-key. That's how I'm getting to the point where I just want to be low-key. I don't want, like, you know what I'm saying? You just want to be low-key. You just want to drop your content, whatever, and just go with the flow. Like, Keef is a legend, bro. He got to the point where he's a legend. He's called the GOAT. Keef don't need to do nothing else. Keef don't need to be at these award shows. Keef don't need to, well, I want him to be at the award shows, because I want to see him perform. I want to see him perform at the BET Awards. I don't know. I just need Keef to perform somewhere, because I never got to see him perform at the BET Awards, because, you know, they were trying to control him and tell him what he should do, what time he should do this, what time he should get there. And you know, back then Keef was like 16. Ain't no 16, 17-year-old gonna listen to somebody tell them what to do, what to wear, how to act, what to eat, do. No, like, we're not gonna listen to nobody who's telling us what to do. So that's how I feel like Keef was a free, like, Keef wasn't no friendly type of person. Well, he is. I mean, I'm not saying friendly, but like, he's not the type of person that's gonna be controlled. Like, he's not gonna do what you neighbors do because y'all giving him the money, or y'all putting him on charts and stuff like that. Like, are you dumb? Like, what? Do you know what Keef was before he was famous, bro? Like, that's what I gotta think of. Like, if Keef was doing wild stuff before he was famous, you think he's gonna care once he get famous? Like, no. Like, I feel like, who said it? I think Charlamagne said it. That, no, was it? I don't know. It was somebody who said it. Like, this rap career is not gonna change Keef. and it didn't change him because he was the same person in the beginning. But now he's older, he's maturing, he's low key, and he's still dropping music. He gonna say, but I think he said Finito was his like last, I don't know, big record or whatever. First of all, bro, okay, it's a big record. Keef could make a big record if he wants to. Like, let's stop it. Cause Keef could come out with a big ass record right now and it's gonna do charts. Like, let's stop it. Let's stop. Like, come on. If Keef want hits, he could make hits. Like, for real, he can. He got songs that he could put on Apple Music and it would chart. Like, let's stop. And then I guess Uzi and his Uzi song featuring Keef is so big now is because everybody wanted that feature. It's like everybody was looking forward to that. Like, you can't tell me he wasn't looking forward to that. So I guess he's saying that's his big. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, bro. But I feel like Keef ain't Sabotaged no career, bro. No career at all. Stop freaking looking for hits and start looking for his songs, bro. Because people be like, oh, he don't do numbers, this, that, and the third. This person do more numbers than him, bro. And me, I don't look at numbers, bro. Because back in 2016, 17, 18, Keef was doing numbers. Keef still do numbers to this day, bro. To this day, get millions, bro. Like, come on now. He might not get like 60 million. I don't know, 80 million, 100 million, but bro, he still get numbers. He still talked about to this day, bro. Till this day, bro. What rapper you know, like really know, when he came out, that's being talked about right now to this day? Like, let me know in the comments. But I can go on and on, but I'm not. But if you guys like this video, you already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and resubscribe. Make sure you turn that notification bell on so you know when I upload a brand new video. And I'll see you guys in my next video.
I was sipping on lean medicine. I had to stop cause a nigga felt sick of shit. You know that keep the pole, he a menace. We gotta get to them racks, tennis. If I started the problem, I finished. None of my niggas ain't fighting a minute. Little bro hopping out of the stoley. You running down, he send shots that you fitted. So that bitch throw it back with that booty. I need